Gayle King wanted us to know because there was no reason for her to say this, as far as I know. And if I'm wrong,
Well,
put in the comments. She was interviewed or something. No,
she was on a podcast, so I don't know what the context of the conversation was. So I don't know that there was no reason for her to say it, but
sure,
she was on a
but she
podcast talking about her dating life.
and she made sure to out a man that she was dating.
Oh,
That's
I see
that's
where
what
this is
happened.
about to
She made
go.
sure. I'm sorry.
I said, oh, I see where this is about to go.
That's what she did.
Well, I outed a
She
man
she
last night
is
on this
Gayle.
here podcast.
She is Gayle, mother loving King.
Yeah, she is. She is Gayle
One of
King.
one of the biggest voices, period, right now.
Yep, and Oprah's bestie,
And Oprah's bestie. And so,
which has its own cachet.
of course, of course.
Huh.
So, what does that mean? That means anything she says is going to get blasted out.
Right.
Blasted out to all the networks, all the podcasts, all of the places. And I'm sure Miss King knew that when she opened
Oh,
her mouth to tell us the story. And what's the story? The story is she was dating a dude for 2 months,
yeah,
and he asked her, what's the number? $4,000?
for $4,000
He asked her to borrow $4,000 to pay child support.
and buy furniture.
I did not hear that about it, but okay.
Yeah, it
I
was
believe you.
she.
I've heard this story twice and that has never come up. But
Yeah,
hey, I believe you. You would know more than me. But whatever.
I
He
read
borrowed
I
$4,000.
read an article before this from a credible source, even though at the moment I cannot remember
It's fine. I believe you.
whose
Listen,
article
I
it
believe
was.
you. Believe black women.
You better.
Anyway, so
Hmm.
the man asked, can I borrow $4,000? They were dating for 2 months. She lent him the money. He paid back when he said he would pay back. He was not late. He paid in full. And she clipped him. What does that mean? She ended their dating situation. She cut him off. She hit in sync and said, bye, bye, bye.
She said she couldn't get past it. It
She
just
said she
soured
could not
things for
get
her.
past the fact that Home Slice borrowed $4,000. And then Oprah said, I don't remember. You tell me, what did Oprah say?
Oprah said some real rich lady shit. Okay, Oprah. Oprah said, "Wow, I would have preferred for him to ask for $40,000 than $4,000. Like them little pennies he's asking for. Why he don't got that in the bank?" That was what she didn't say. All that stuff that came after, but she said the thing about the $40,000, according to Gayle. Um, yeah. Now
And that's why I say,
let's add some details. Do you want to say your thing first?
no, go ahead.
Let's add some details. So Gail is saying that, this was someone who had a six-figure job. So I guess her expectation was that he could afford child support and he could afford furniture. He could afford the $4,000 he was asking for. So I don't know if maybe she was just taken aback by, I didn't listen to the podcast, but I did read about it. Um, I was trying to find it in time for the show because I would have liked to. I prefer firsthand accounts. I don't like to read things about it because by the time somebody writes about it, they've already shaped their opinion and they're writing in that perspective. So,
Right.
um, but but yeah, so that was what she said. She also said that he didn't tell her initially what it was for. And I don't know if this matters to you, maybe it doesn't, but she was the one who said, "Well, what do you need $4,000 for?" And that was when he said child support and furniture. I'm assuming that maybe there was more to that story, but it doesn't seem like she shared details about the
She shared
details.
more than enough.
Well, you keep saying that, and I feel a little weird sitting in front of you talking about it because last night I was very candid about Paul, and now I'm
Yeah.
wondering, were you judging me?
No, I thought your speed dating story was funny, and that was cool. But this is very different. One, today you're not Gayle King. Not to say you will not have a platform as large as
No.
Gayle King, but today you're not Gayle King. That's number one. Number two,
Hmm.
Gayle had the option of shutting her mouth. She didn't need to tell us all of that. She didn't need to tell us that homeboy borrowed the money for child support and furniture. And we definitely didn't need to know what Oprah said. No.
Yeah, yeah. I thought
Gayle
what Oprah said
knows.
was in poor taste,
Gayle,
but
let's be honest. Gayle was trying to squash him like a bug. That's what she was doing. She was outing this dude and presenting it in a way that, oh, I was in awe. I just couldn't get past it. But why do we need to know that?
can I
Here's
tell
the
you what
first
I think she
problem.
was doing? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, 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 go. I didn't realize you were still talking. I thought that was you got whenever you get intense that you pause. So I thought that you were taking a break. No, go ahead. Go for it. I didn't mean to cut you off.
The first problem was homeboy. You're dating a
Uh-huh.
woman for 2 months. You don't ask to
Yeah.
borrow a large sum of money. It's not wise. And it's less, maybe you felt comfortable, but she's Gayle mother loving King. She's not a random she's not Dash.
She
She's not
reports
JD.
she reports the news and she reports stories for a living.
And that's
She
correct. I'm not
interviews
even talking
people
about that.
and exposes people's business for a living.
And now this man is fighting for his life.
No, he isn't. She didn't say his name.
I'm kidding. But
He's
on a
probably
serious note,
somewhere embarrassed that the story came out, but no one knows who that man is.
I don't know about that. But he he should have considered the fact that this person is a famous person with a huge platform.
Yes.
So let's start with accountability. Let's start with keeping it real. We're not just going to blame women. We're going to blame everyone who did something wrong. We got to start with him.
Yep.
Because if I
Okay.
just come up here and women and diss the women and don't say nothing about him, that would be unfair. And it would look like
Uh
I'm
huh.
just some woman bashing dude. That's not how I operate. But wrong is
Mhm.
wrong. So it was unwise, and maybe not wrong, but it was unwise of him to do this from the jump. We all fall on hard times. Sometimes, hey, Dash got the $10 I need. I'm gonna ask Dash for the $10. Hopefully she looks out. Now, that was his mistake, but let's give the man a slice of credit because we've all been in hard times before and
Mhm.
he did not delay. She made sure to let us know, hey, he paid back on time. And so you gotta give him a slice of credit for that. He was wrong for
You
asking,
gotta love a man who keeps his word.
but he paid it
You
back.
gotta love a
Now,
man who keeps his word.
paid it back.
Should he
Now,
have asked? Probably not.
he
But
probably shouldn't have asked, but he did, and he paid it back on time. What more could you do? Nothing. Now,
he must have really been
Gayle
in a bind.
and Gayle shouldn't have lent him the money if she was gonna go and judge him for borrowing the money. If you ain't want it, listen, you gotta be
Well,
genuine with your shit. Hold on. You gotta be genuine with your shit. If you cool with lending him the money, then be cool with lending him the money. Everybody's not Oprah's best friend. Everyone is not the number one news anchor on the planet. If everyone is not Gayle King. Millionaires, I mean, we've heard Kanye West, who's allegedly a billionaire, say he's broke mad times in the last 10 years.
I
In
was just
fact,
about to
he's
say not
saying
no
that right
more.
now, Adidas is
Right.
suing him for more than he's worth. And he's worth more than Gayle King. So we all have positions that we all get put in positions where we need a little help. If
Uh
you
huh.
were going to
Yep.
give this dude the money, and be that helping hand, then you can't turn around and judge dude. You got to judge yourself because you gave him the money.
Here's the problem.
Wait, one more
Oh,
thing.
there's my. See, you're being dramatic again.
One more thing.
Uh-huh.
I really wish two things. Number one, that Gayle didn't tell us what Oprah said. And number two,
Mm-hmm.
that Oprah would shut the up. Oprah, shut up.
Yeah.
I don't know why my name is being mentioned in this film. Yes, you do. I don't understand why. I wish he would have asked for $40,000. Oprah, shut up.
I don't see. Okay. Oprah's not by a long shot my favorite person. However, I'll not let you do that to Oprah because what happens between the conversation between two friends, two best friends, is between two best friends, and whatever
And I
Oprah
said,
said,
and I said, Gail,
albeit
Gail shouldn't have shared it.
no, but albeit Oprah saying that publicly, it would have been wild because because clearly Oprah has the means. Her means are very different from a lot of people.
Sure.
So, but this was a conversation between two girlfriends. Oprah didn't publicly say it. Oprah didn't go on the podcast and say it. This is something that she said to Gayle in private, and Gayle revealed that. And I don't think it's fair to 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 bash Oprah for saying what she said when she said something to
In
her
confidence.
girlfriends in confidence. I don't think that's right
Okay.
because there's a lot of things that we say to our friends that will never ever see the light of day or should never ever see the light of day. That's why we tell people get off the internet and go to your group chat because there are things that you will say to your friends and you will say in private. I always tell my sister, I'm like, I can only say this to you because you are the only person I know who I'll never hear it again from anyone else. But also you're not going to judge me for what I'm about to say. You can't do that with everyone. You should be able to do it with your best friend. You can't do that with everyone, but I don't think it's right. I don't think Oprah has anything to do with this situation. I think it's completely wrong to get mad at Oprah for what she said. It was in poor taste. We know that it was in poor taste, but to get mad at her for saying it, yes, the color purple thing, yes, she should shut up. But for this, she said it to her best friend and in private. It should have never come out that Oprah said
I
this.
agree with that. But I still wish Oprah would shut the hell up. I don't want to hear no more
Okay.
about Oprah. For the
Okay. So
rest
I just
for
want
the rest of
I,
2024, I don't want to hear no more about Oprah. I've had it up to here with Oprah.
mhm.
And the year
I
just
just
started.
I just wanted to get that out the way. As far as Gail goes and telling the story, I hear
Peace
what you're
out.
saying. I hear what you're saying, but I also, being someone who, um, who built a podcast platform on talking about my dating stuff, I don't know how I sit here and judge her for talking about it publicly. Um, I also don't know what the context of that's the part that's missing for me, and I would like to give her that space. If they were asking specifically about her dating life and she told this story, now here's what I think happened because the article I read also said that she spoke broadly about her dating life as well and how difficult it is because people say things like, "Oh, she's Oprah's best friend. Oh, she's wealthy. She's on television. She walks around with her fancy clothes and her fancy purse and whatever." And men basically say, "How are they supposed to compete with that?" I think that maybe the point that she was trying to make, if I could try to piece the moments together, it sounds like she was trying to explain the position she's in when she gets into dating situations. And there are people who will say they have fame or they have celebrity or whatever it is, and they start to get close to somebody and then they want something from them. And to me, after reading the article, that's kind of what it sounded like. Like, now maybe it wasn't the right story to tell. You know, I think, I think, I think because I don't know if I would have told why the guy needed the money. I think if she wanted to tell the story, I understand the impulse to tell the story, but I feel like where it got a little gray for me was telling why he wanted the money, because to me it was something that sounded deeply personal, and he it does make him more identifiable, right? Um, maybe not to a lot of people, but he's somewhere right now thinking, well, what is this saying my name? Why is she talking about me?
Right.
So I don't think she was wrong for telling the story. I'm more interested when I saw the story. I was more interested in the fact that, you know, I do think you're taking a gamble asking someone you met 2 months ago or someone you started dating 2 months ago for $4,000. I don't care how much money you make. I just $4,000 is not pennies. So it's
No.
you know um so I maybe he was in a bind, maybe he had no one else to go to. I don't know what his situation was. Where I think she went wrong in the situation, since you wanted to hold everyone accountable. I think where she went wrong in the situation was, I don't okay, what I should say is, I don't agree that she should have never given the money so that she wouldn't have bad feelings towards him. I think that the bad feelings happened on the onset of the conflict. So I think the moment he asked her for money, it was done. I don't think it mattered whether she gave him the money or not. She now looks at him differently because he asked for the money. So it doesn't matter why he needed the money. It doesn't matter whether she gave him the money or not. It doesn't matter whether he paid the money back or not. I think, and I don't know if this is what she was trying to say, but what I gathered from this is that the moment he asked for the money, it was a turn off. And so whether she loaned it to him or not, she was never going to continue pursuing things with that man. I don't
So
believe
why
that.
she didn't cut it off at that moment? Why she waited
Well,
till she got her money back and then told the story on a podcast?
maybe she should have cut it off at that moment. I'm not saying she shouldn't have. I'm just saying I don't think it changes the outcome. I think the writing was on the wall from the moment he said, I need to borrow some money. I think that's where it went wrong for her, because then she goes on to talk about, how how men view her, and this and that. And I could if you are someone who walks around either thinking people are intimidated by you, or they always want something from you, it's going to be a turn off for somebody 2 months in to ask you for money, because you're thinking, wow, oh, it's just another guy who just wants something from me because they know that I'm friends with Oprah, and they know that I'm wealthy, and they know that I'm this, and they know that I'm that. I think that's where the whole thing went awry. And if it was me, I think that, well, I don't know what that guy's situation was like outside of what we were told. I don't know what his situation was, but given what it was, I maybe would have considered giving him the money too. Um, because child support is just a serious thing. The furniture, maybe not so much. I don't know what the big deal about the furniture was, but it's such a big thing that if you felt someone was in such a crunch that they had to come to you and maybe not someone else that they know, then maybe I would have considered giving him the money. But I do think that I do think maybe the issue was more that he asked, period. And I don't think I think it was, I don't think it was a great thing to ask. I think he probably needed to find the money from somewhere else, but he didn't. So, you know, but you know, justice for those who go on a podcast and talk about their dating lives.
No, it was no need to out that man.
Okay, I hear you. Agree to disagree.